Alright, what is going on YouTube? Backslash coming at you with another video. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 224 leaks that dropped earlier this morning. Obviously there are going to be spoilers in this, so if you guys don't want to get the chapter spoiled for you, go ahead and click off right now. I'm going to drop a link in the description to where I got these leaks, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So chapter 224 opens with Gojo and Sukuna facing off, and Sukuna says, "Gojo Satoru, you are just a fish on a cutting board, just a little more lively than the others, a fish without a name. First, I'll get rid of your scales." They talk a little bit more, and Gojo mentions that he went through a training of some kind while he was sealed. Along with that, he mentions that he won't have to hold back because Megumi has Toji's face, which I think is hilarious to add in. Right after this, we get straight into the fight where Gojo ducks a punch from Sukuna by lying on the floor, and in this panel, you can see that he is just not taking it seriously. Maybe not taking it seriously, but he's exceptionally cocky as per usual. And after this, we see Gojo hit him, blasting him through a wall and some pillars. Sukuna starts to recover, but just as fast as he can recover, Gojo is back on him. He attacks Sukuna a number of times by power stabbing his foot, and he ends up destroying the bridge that they are both standing on. Gojo then grabs a piece of the bridge that Sukuna was standing on and throws it at another building, which Sukuna jumps down from and avoids getting smashed into a building. Obviously, these two have no regard for architecture. Sukuna recovers and throws a dismantle at Gojo by using a finger gun, which is, I think, a really cool looking panel. And it's either stopped by Gojo's infinity or he dodges it. We're not entirely sure. But either way, you just see it slice off a building right behind Gojo. Sukuna then tries to throw a punch, but it's stopped by Gojo's infinity. Right after that, Gojo turns off his infinity to grab Sukuna as they move inside of another building. We see that the building that they're currently in is falling as they're still duking it out with each other. The building eventually comes down as they both throw power punches with cursed energy. It destroys the building. The two emerge from the building facing the same direction, which I think is a really interesting artistic decision. It's almost as if they're allies and they exchange some words about whose fault it is, which I think is really interesting that the author decided to include this. I'm not entirely sure what he plans on doing with this fight, continuing with this fight. I really like the mention of Gojo secretly training when he was sealed. I think that was really cool. But then the chapter goes and comes to an end. Gojo's saying, "Oh shit, my son is having this hooked up." Along with this, it's noted that there's going to be a break this week. So let's go ahead and break down everything that we just saw. I think this is a really, again, as I just mentioned, I think it's a really, really cool chapter, a really good chapter. It suits Gojo's personality so well, being so hyper aggressive. You know, he hasn't been around in the manga for several years at this point, and he comes back and he's iced out and he just goes on the offensive and goes on the attack and he wants to rip Sukuna's head off and destroy him. I think that's what Gojo would do. Like, it genuinely makes sense to me that he would come out and be a hyper aggressive person because he is the honored one. That's what he sees himself as. Him and Sukuna going at it and just destroying everything around them really makes a lot of sense, and I think the artwork in this was really good. I think, again, that decision to have them facing the same direction shows that they are on the same par, the same level as each other, and I think that they both respect each other to some degree. I mean, I'm not sure about Sukuna, but I'm sure that they respect each other to some degree to acknowledge that, like, hey, we are the two strongest people in this universe. You know, I'm really excited to see how this fight is going to turn out. I'm really interested to see where the author is going to take this. I'm worried about Gojo dying, as I think a lot of people are, but this specific leaks that just came out, I think really kind of show that Gojo is feeling his strongest. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some kind of trump card that Sukuna has, or perhaps a trump card that Gojo has. You know, I also really found the inclusion of the fact that Gojo would not care about hitting Sukuna because he looks like Toji. I think that's like a really funny thing to include in there because obviously Gojo would hate Toji for a number of reasons, but I think that's a really funny thing to include. So overall, I think though this chapter is, I mean, it's not that many, it's like 19 pages total, I want to say. And the translations that we have right now are kind of rough. Still, they're not official translations, obviously. It's leaked. 223 hasn't even come out yet. But I think that it's something that gives us something to really look forward to. He is taking a break next week, so we're not going to have anything next week, but the week after that, the fight's going to continue, and I'm really, really excited to see what he does with it. I do wonder if he's going to include some sort of flashbacks to right after Gojo got unsealed, because we didn't get to see that. You know, we had a time skip directly to December 24th. I really hope that the author does go ahead and decide to do that and make this a bit longer of an arc with some flashbacks and other stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. I think that him conversing with either Yuji or Yuta and a bunch of like the other characters and stuff. I think I would really like to see that. So that's one thing that I'm really hoping that he decides to do. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I'm also very excited for the animation that's coming out. You know, I've been reviewing the last couple volumes Jujutsu Kaisen on this channel so far. So yeah, I'm very happy with these leaks. I think they're awesome. If you guys are happy with them or not happy with them, go ahead, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think down below. There we go. There we have it. Chapter 224 leaks. Nothing for next week, but I'll continue doing my volumes and hopefully we'll get all the way caught up pretty soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.